Hello everyone, today we're on 14.9 addition and subtraction, inequalities, and rational numbers on page 399. This is just a short example video since we've already done inequalities and equations and that kind of stuff so many times before. So just a quick example video. So right here we have 8 1/4 is greater than 2t minus t plus 1/2. So our first step here is we're going to try to distribute if that's an option, and that's not a current option here. So now we're going to combine like terms on the left and on the right. My left side is already pretty combined and simplified, so I'm going to go over to my right side. So we have 2t minus t plus 1/2. So I'm going to rewrite that as 8 1/4. It's greater than 2t minus 1t gives us just a positive t plus 1/2. Like equations and inequalities, we're going to try and isolate the variable and solve for it. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 1/2 on both sides. Okay, that gets that done. So now on my right side, I just have greater than t. Okay, so I have 8 1/4 minus 1/2. So we're set up like this: 8 1/4 minus 1/2. In order to add or subtract equations, they have to have the same denominator. You guys got it. You're so smart. So that would be 4. So that's going to be, let's rewrite this over here if we can. 8 1/4 minus 2/4. Okay. All right, this is a great example to do because we're going to see this a couple times and it just looks a little funky. So my whole number here is bigger than the whole number in this fraction, but my fraction part is smaller than my fraction part over here. So we're going to do this. We're going to take 1 away from the whole number here and add it to our fraction part. So let's do it over here. Oops, not there. Oh my gosh. Actually, perfect. Here. So we have 8 1/4 minus 2/4. Okay? So I'm going to take 1 away from here and add it over here. So now this one is going to be 7 5/4. So I added 4/4 to the fraction part here, minus 2/4. Okay? So 7 minus 0 is going to be 7. 5 minus 2 is going to be 3. And we leave our denominator the same and simplify it, and that's perfect. So our answer to this bad boy is going to be 7 3/4. Okay? Alrighty, let's do something like that again. Let's do this right here. So if we have 6 2/3 minus 5/3. Okay, so again, my whole number here is larger than the whole number here, which is 0. Okay, but my fraction part is smaller than this fraction part over here. So I'm going to subtract 1 away from 6. That's going to give me 5. I'm going to add that whole number of 1, but in fraction form, so 3/3 over here. So that's going to give me 5/3 minus 5/3. Okay? So 5 minus 0 is going to give me a 5. 0 over 3, which equals 5. Okay? Just a little quick reminder there. Okay? That's your answer. It's a terrible 5, you know what I mean? Okay. Alrighty, so now we're into this bad boy. We have 4 over 21. We're going to distribute that to 10 1/2 n minus 7. Minus n is less than or equal to negative 1 2/3. So again, first step here is always look for, can we distribute, which we can here. So we're going to multiply that here. So 4 over 21 times 10 1/2 n is going to give us, after we do all that math, is going to give us a positive 2n here. Alrighty? 4 over 21 times a negative 7 is going to give us a negative 4/3 minus n less than or equal to negative 1 2/3. Alright, so now I'm going to combine like terms on my left side. 2n minus 1n is going to give us n. So that is going to equal negative 4/3. It's terrible for. Hold on. Negative 4/3 n. Nope, not n. Negative 4/3 plus n. Okay? On this side right here. So let's write that down here. So we have negative 4 over 3. Again, don't worry about making it a proper fraction or a mixed number yet, because we're not finished yet. Plus n less than or equal to negative 1 2/3. Okay? So, again, we want to isolate that variable and see what it is less than or equal to. So now I'm going to add 4/3 on both sides, because I'm doing the inverse operation here. Okay. So now, we have negative 1 2/3 plus 4/3. Okay? So this is going to equal, actually I'm going to change this here to, I'm going to change this to 1 1/3, so it'll be easier to do it. Everybody gets how I went from 4/3 to 1 1/3, I'm hoping. Plus 1 1/3. Okay, so negative 1 plus positive 1 is going to be 0. Negative 2 minus 1. I'm sorry, negative 2, because this is a negative, recall that, okay? Negative 2 plus the positive 1 is going to be a negative 1. So it's going to be negative 1 over 3. And the 0 is going to go bye-bye because we don't need it here. So, n, I'm going to actually rewrite this here. N is less than or equal to negative 1/3. And that, my friends, is your answer. Okay. We have m minus 210.2 is less than or equal to 58.8. This is a subtraction inequality, so we're going to do the inverse of subtraction, which is addition. Very good. So I'm going to add 210.2 on both sides. Could line it up, would be good. Okay, so it's going to be m, actually do this, m less than or equal to 269. Okay? Remember, when you're adding and subtracting decimals, you want to line up the decimal points first and foremost, then you subtract or add. Okay, the last example we're going to do is this one right here. So the first and foremost thing, I'm going to distribute this negative 1. So this is going to be negative 6.03. This is going to be a positive 2p. Bring down that minus 2p. Less than negative 68.19. Okay? Now after I've distributed, I'm going to combine like terms on either side. My right side is totally simplified. So I'm going to combine these two, to a positive p. So I'm going to cancel that out. So I'm actually going to erase it. I know I say never to erase, but we're going to erase it. To a positive p. Okay? So since my p is on the left side, I'm going to move everything else to the right side. So I'm going to add 6.03 on both sides. Notice how my decimal points are lined up. So now we're going to have p is less than. Now remember, this is negative 68.19, not a positive. So we're actually going to be subtracting here. Our greater value is negative, so our answer is going to be negative. So I'm going to plug that in right there. Whoa, it looks like it's eating something. I'm going to plug that in right here. Okay. 9 minus 3, here's our decimal point. 9 minus 3 is going to be 6. 1 minus 0 is going to be 1. 8 minus 6 is going to be 2. 6 minus 0 is going to be 6. So our final answer is p is less than negative 62.16. Okay? All right, that's all I've got for everybody. So make sure to copy down all these notes, and I'll see you next time in class. Adios, amigos.